find another Sabbath. The blood moon is so incredibly overused in witch films and zombie films.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I don't know what a blood moon is.
The Brothers Grimm did it with their witch.
I didn't see that one.
They used it to effect in Twilight. Oh crap, what was the other recent one where they used the blood moon? It went a lot longer. I can't actually think of it now, but the blood moon is being used way too much in film. Get a new Sabbath.
Yeah. And I think a lot of, having said that, I think the acting of the lead villain was really good. And I really like the way the witches, there's scenes they use where, obviously big spoilers, where when they hit someone with a spell, they kind of command them to kill themselves. And there's a scene where there's a scene where one witch commands a son who's trying to defend his mother and his siblings.
The gun onto
she commands him to turn the gun on his mother and shoot her, and she's begging him not to shoot her. And that was really powerful and effective, and I really like that.
Like, I've seen that in movies before where they'll command someone else, but normally the person's eyes are glazed over and they don't know what they're doing. In this, they have full knowledge of what they're doing.
And so I thought that was really good. It really, honestly, it didn't have that many flaws. It just had one huge flaw, which was the story, followed by
the acting.
The characters or the acting. And two nitpicks. I have two things I have to go off on.
Okay, go on.
So there's two. I had two my hand fist moments or my just like, what the fuck moments.
Yeah.
Number one, they capture a witch and they're gonna interrogate her to find out where all these missing kids are because there's all these kids missing. And Jeremy Renner turns to her and says, "You can tell us where the kids are now, and we can promise not to hurt you and make this the longest night of your life." And the witch says, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." So he takes some, like, brass knucks.
Yeah, like old school brass knuckles.
He punches her twice in the face. And then, after she doesn't give them anything, he goes, "This is pointless. We should just burn her to death." That's the longest night of her life? That's your big torture method? You build it up like that, saying, like, we're gonna get the information out of you, witch. And it's like, pow, pow. Well, fuck it, I got nothing, man. I don't know what to do. I punched her twice in the jaw. What do I do now? That was retarded. It's so minor, it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter, but then don't say that. Just say he's a terrible interrogator, you know? There was a lot of, like, Bond villain-esque of, like, people revealing their plans to other people in this movie, too. That's pretty funny.
One of my biggest nitpicks in this was the romance. One minute she's like crazy stalker chick, and the next minute they're having sex in a lake, and it's like, what? And then he's being all like blow-offish with the redheaded chick. It's like, okay, see you later. But after they have sex, and she's like, come back to me, and he's like, yeah, no worries, babe.
I think he liked her. He was just hesitant. And I think also it was because she stripped for him, and then he saw her naked body, and that's what swayed
She did
him.
have some nice breasts, I will put that out there.
Yeah, she was pretty rocking. This is the Good Witch.
The Good Witch. The redhead thing.
Who Renner has a thing with. Who, spoiler alert, dies. I didn't expect that to happen.
I
appreciated that.
I totally called it. I'm like, okay, who's gonna die? The young kid or you? And I'm like, yep, she's gone.
What was the other... Oh, that was the other thing. One more thing to nitpick and bitch about. Hansel has diabetes, which is fine. I like that. I appreciated that fact, because obviously when he was captured by the witch initially, when he was very young, he was force-fed candy, which gave him diabetes. So he's got to make an injection every couple hours.
Every couple of hours, or he'll
die. So his way of coping with this is he has a watch, and this watch is going to buzz and alert him when he should take his medicine. So at the very end of the movie, he's fighting the witch, and his alarm goes off, and he just starts automatically going into like, anaphylactic shock, whatever it is. And immediately, my thought is, so you have watched a program where to take the shot that you will die without, and you decide to set it for the exact moment that you become crippled without it? Would you not set it 10 minutes before? I know that's a ridiculous nitpick, but it just shows
I understand.
It shows total lack of forethought. It makes no fucking sense. It's just contrived to, like, cause him to hesitate and kind of draw out the battle longer.
I do have a nitpick with that scene with his
retarded.
diabetes scenes. Like, he has the shot and 5 seconds later, he's all like, yeah, but it's like Popeye and spinach. That's what that injection did to him.
Well, it's a magic injection. That's what it is.
It's diabetic. Diabetes. Who said that? Was it Bridget? It was Bridget.
Wilford Brimley said that.
I don't know.
The guy from The Thing. He's the diabetes front man.
Diabetes. Diabetics, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner should have checked his diabetes, and he should have checked it more often. Yeah, I really don't have much to say. I thought the music was pretty okay in this movie.
And it was oversaw by Hans Zimmer. I got really excited when I saw that.
I like Hans Zimmer.
Yay!
Individual Wishes were good. Peter Stormare's in it for a bit.
Oh god, my favorite scene in the entire film. Again, one of my favorite things about this was the blood and violence and the gore. I was not expecting that.
It was super gory at parts, and I really appreciated that because we need more R-rated movies.
We do.
Even if they're bad, more R-rated movies.
Like the scene
I like this movie, even though I gave it a lower rating. This movie I liked it way better than Mama.
It was ballsy.
Because it had some balls.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. Mama had a lot of balls
Mama
too.
Started
in the
really
beginning,
good, and then just went downhill.
downhill.
This film kind of stayed at a very low
As soon as
plateau.
Edward showed up, it got a little bit better. Edward is the troll, and Edward kills Peter Stormare in one of... He steps on his head.
And you just see the...
Like, it just pops.
There's
like
even a drawn and quartering scene with one of the guys.
Oh, yeah, with the witches when
like,
she first finds them. That was a good introduction.
Like, you see some guy get clubbed on the head, and you kind of see him go down, but then you just see this fountain of blood come up with this stick. I was really quite impressed with that one, by far. Peter Stormare getting his head stomped was beautiful.
Peter Stormare has died in the last 2 movies we've seen in theaters, which goes to show it does not prove to be a nihilist. Just saying. On the plus side, he probably doesn't care about it.
I will look this up, but and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, peeps, but I think Peter Stormare died the exact same way in this as he did in The Brothers Grimm, which also featured the Blood Moon.
Really? Was he stepped on by a troll on the face?
No, not on the troll, but I think his head was
exploded
destroyed.
Or something? Really? Peter Stormare just doesn't have good luck with it.
No.
He's kind of like Billy Connolly in that sense. Billy Connolly dies in everything. Billy Connolly died in a Muppets movie. I think he might be the only person who ever did that. Anyway, we're severely off topic. Do you have anything left to say about this film?
Would
you recommend it to any type of person, anybody?
Okay, so Jeremy Renner has got one of the most expressionless faces I have seen. I hear people and I see people on the meme sites ripping on Kristen Stewart for doing this, like the really expressionless, open mouth, shovel face kind of thing. But Jeremy Renner, by God, the entire time he was grumpy. Grumpy pants McGrumperson.
Yeah. Which I think is just a byproduct of like trying to be too cool for school, but it sort of fails in this setting. I would recommend this movie. Like I said, it's really not that good of a movie. You don't need to see it. But if you saw the R-rated trailer and thought it looked good, then I would recommend it.
I had a really good experience. I would recommend having a couple of shots of tequila or whatever your poison is beforehand, because by God, you'll get the giggles so bad.
I would recommend that you take those shots of tequila and go see The Last Stand instead. If you're gonna spend, if you're gonna spend the money on a dumb action movie, The Last Stand is a far better choice right now. And then after you've seen The Last Stand, maybe you can sneak into this one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
don't waste your money.
That's us. That's it for us.
That's it for me.
That's it for you. Thank you, Jess, for joining our program. Much appreciated. Hopefully this one will be uploaded eventually. And we'll be back when we have something to see.